Here's the real truth of what happens to a homeowner when they actually are intentional and look at the full disclosures of their mortgage and know their numbers for the first time. It's not panic, it's recognition or clarity. One client may describe this as being disheartening because they may be religiously paying their monthly payment on time every single month, and on top of that, their payment is affordable and comfortable. Yet when they look at the balance, nothing is happening. We all know that in a 30-year term, it's not just exclusive to a 30-year term, but a 30-year mortgage, in the first 5 or 10 years, it's predominantly interest. And in fact, on the average mortgage, you're not actually getting to meaningful principal reduction until 18 years in. So this can feel disheartening. It's like, look, I'm tithing, I'm being generous, I'm working hard, I'm making good money, I'm comfortable, I've done the wise thing by having a mortgage payment that's low. And that's the blind spot that Americans have, is we really focus on one of two numbers. And some people would say interest rate, but why do we look at interest rate? Because it dictates what? Our monthly payment. The interest rate doesn't dictate how much interest you're paying. It dictates where the interest starts. So by looking at our payment, and this is a mistake that we as Americans make, is we look at what we can cram into our monthly budget. Americans buy payments that we can afford on a monthly basis rather than looking at the total cost of owning something. And this is the blind spot. We need to look at the amortization schedule and figure out ways to beat that, ways to speed it up without massively changing anything about our lifestyle or our budget. And you may be asking, like, well, what am I looking for in my disclosures? Where I would start, and we have countless videos on this, is the loan estimate. The loan estimate is a 3-page document. The first page, and again, I love the way it's structured. It's so ironic because, again, I know their incentives. So bankers and lenders are really good salespeople, right? So the first page tells you, first and foremost, what is your interest rate? That's what you were sold. Think about it. You're driving up the interstate, you look at a billboard. What do they advertise? They advertise the interest rate, right? So we look at the interest rate, then we look at the payment that was sold to us. Like, hey, we're going to get you this loan. Here's the monthly payment. You are qualified. Do you feel comfortable with that? Yeah, I feel comfortable with it. So all of these things are on the first page. What your cash to close is, what your closing costs. Second page goes over in detail what those closing costs are, but it's really the third page of the loan estimate. And right at the top, it's going to tell you, hey, in the first 5 years, here's how much of your payment is going towards interest and how much is going towards principal. And it's flip-flopped. Again, you're buying one bank. You're buying one home for them and one home for you in that particular order. Then you get into the devil in the details. Tip, total interest percentage. A 3.875% interest rate mortgage could equate to 70% in interest. It's going to be startling at first. In fact, we just came out of an event last night where we had hundreds or thousands of people on, and not hundreds of thousands, we had hundreds or thousands, and they did homework and said, pull out your disclosures. What is your tip? And a lot of people were actually over 100%, which means you're paying double for the home than the purchase price. And again, this is where we as Americans, this is not normal around the world. There are other countries and other continents that they look at the total purchase price, including the financing costs. Here's a good example, real estate investor. If you're a real estate investor, you know a real estate investor, and they're analyzing a deal, they are also taking into account how much is it going to cost me to finance this deal, and what am I going to profit when it's all said and done. So we do that intentionally as a business because we want to maximize profit, but we also need to do that on the personal side as well. We have to focus on the total cost, the total interest cost, and minimize that as much as possible. So that blind spot of focusing on the interest rate or the mortgage payment, it's not a character flaw. It's just a gap in the information that we're consuming. So obviously, this channel is all about how to reduce that total cost as much as possible. So you can check out all of our other videos, and I'm not going to regurgitate it here on this video, but obviously we're huge fans of getting simple interest lines of credit. For a lot of folks, that's going to scare you. Because the majority of simple interest lines of credit, like a home equity line of credit, is variable. So when we have Fed announcements that, hey, there could be an increase in interest rate, we're like, oh, no, I don't want to get that. But you also have moments like COVID where the Fed announces we're plummeting interest rates. We're plummeting the federal funds rate to 0 to 0.25%, and people are getting 2.5%, 3% home equity line of credit rates. So it's this seesaw thing. But there are also strategies to mitigate what the interest is entirely. Again, I'll go back to why the modern day mortgage was created to begin with. The modern day mortgage was created to increase deposits to banks because a mortgage wasn't always a closed-end debt tool. Closed-end meaning money can go in freely, but it doesn't come out freely. There's two ways to get access to your equity. You can refinance or you can sell. The other way is you can get a home equity line of credit to get access to it. But a mortgage is a debt tool used by banks to increase deposits because we used to deposit our money inside of a mortgage prior to 1913. Post 1913, we can't do that. We have to have liquid money to live off of for all of our other expenses. So what do? We open up checking and savings accounts. So now we hand them our money that they then turn around and lend out to other people, including ourselves, at a much higher interest rate. What we could be doing is using a different debt tool like a home equity line of credit as our operating account, dumping our money in there, reducing principal, reducing interest, allowing that to speed up our payoff timeline. Whether you're in first lien or second lien, there's all kinds of different strategies, ones that we share right here on this channel and also in our private community. The key takeaway here is not ignorance is bliss, and let's just ignore the details. Just because the payment that we got years ago, last year, whenever it was, is affordable and comfortable for us to live off of. We need to investigate these things. We need to take a look at our disclosures. We need to check up on it from time to time, maybe every quarter, maybe every year. Take a look at your mortgage balance. And you don't have to trust me. You can take a look at your own disclosures and your own balance statement and say, wow, it's not moving. And if it doesn't move at a meaningful pace, then what does that mean for the bank or lender? And what does that mean for me? Tally that up. You have all the proof in the pudding right there inside of your own disclosures. In fact, you were told this is a ripoff. That 3.875%, it's not 3.875%, it's 70%. So how do we take that 70% and get it down to 30, 25, 20, maybe even into the teens? Again, it's not going to be interest free, but it's going to be a lot cheaper. On top of that, you maintain liquidity for emergencies or opportunities. So again, we can't live in fear. We can't panic when we see this, but at the same time, we have to pay attention. Y'all take care. God bless.